just catching up on some light reading. It's on the table behind you, dude. It's right there. Sorry. Had to talk to the director. You know how things are. Shoddy filmmaking. Just catching up on some reading. I thought I'd do this last reflection face to a keyboard, or however it is. I don't know. Do some kind of webcast. So here we go. Mark. I'm in Mark's basement right now, and he's graciously lending me his camera here so we can do a quick video. He's going to ask me the questions. I've got some things prepared here. I'm going to say them, and hopefully you can do what you like. You can listen to it. You can not listen to it. Whatever. It's up to you. It's your decision. Okay, let's do this. Let's dive right in, Mark.
Okay, here we go. Hello.
That's Mark. That's his hand.
All right, Brad. First question.
Yes.
Can you please outline your key understandings from the readings?
Well, I guess I can. I picked the three that I wanted to talk about. Ken Robinson's was the first one, Sir Ken Robinson. Really enjoyed it. I'm sure most people did. I couldn't agree more about the whole conveyor belt of education right now and how we're just trying to mass produce and churn kids out to be all the same. It just resonated completely with me. What worries me about it is that, you know, here we are trying to work on how to change the school library when, you know, we're trying to reinvent the library. We really need to reinvent education, and then you start to get really worried about the changes you need to make. But really interesting stuff, and I can agree more with it. This is the articles. I like the Liz Kerr article. She's a KPR girl as well, so we like that. From the same board as us, but just about influencing and engaging your administrators. I don't really have a whole lot to say at my board. I don't know about you guys, but the people that do, the people that have clout, those are the people that we need to really get to and work with from there. And so that was a nice reminder for me. And the White article as well, the guy from Ingersoll. Just the realization that it's a journey over time. He said he was doing presentations about computers in the library 15 years ago. Just to know that this change isn't going to happen overnight, that it is going to take time. And again, I think right now we're in one of those doldrums of time, but I think we're rising out and doing that stuff. But the idea that over time, if we reflect and do things and make small changes and keep our goals low, then I think that, not low goals, but, you know, keep them incrementally and working them through, then that'll work. So that's what I think. Those are my key understandings. Mr. Duke.
Question number 2. Can you make some sort of a connection between your 3 learning goals and articles?
Yeah, for sure. The 3 goals that I had when I went back and looked at them, you know, was number 1 to learn how to maneuver the course. Never taken an online course before. I think we kind of got into our groove. I loved having someone to collaborate with. I really would have loved the face-to-face still more, I think, in the end. I think that really a big thing with school librarians in general is that, I mean, it's great to see how every other library does it and do things, but in our board and then across other boards, there's no connectivity. Like, I think as a whole, librarians should be kind of uniting together in order to do this, and it still seems like everyone's doing their own thing in accordance to, you know, what they get and do stuff, and so I think that would help. But I did like the online part, and I think that it was a neat way to do stuff, and there certainly was more than enough information. The second one that I had on my goal list was to raise awareness of our school library. And again, the problem isn't the information. It's out there. Every single article, every other thing is there. It's there saying, you know, let's get the library. It's nice to see that other people here are on board with that and doing that stuff. The interesting articles, again, I'm just adding to the artillery, the stuff that I got from here, the videos, the articles, the information from you guys. It just goes to help as you start to build that kind of stuff as you kind of make, you know, how you want to make your changes and do things and go from there. I think it's going to help in the end raise awareness of that library. Number 3, being collaborative and working with other teachers in school and do stuff. I mean, again, I think it's a no-brainer. Everything points to this that we've read and done. It's just a matter of, again, of finding the people that are going to work with you and do stuff. I'm lucky because I have Mark at my school and we're able to work collaboratively and do stuff. So, I mean, I have that unique situation, and we are really passionate about this, and it's become something. I don't know when I started this journey last summer when I took Library Part 1, I don't know if Mark thinks this too, but I don't know if I was going to be this passionate about libraries and what their role needs to be and how much they need to change. But I think in over time that I've really learned that this is something that needs to be done instead. So we're going to work towards that as well as we can. And that's my 3 things and my 3 points and my connections to that. Go ahead, Mark.
All right, Brad, what are some implications you see for our school library moving forward?
Well, I mean,
all they have to do is look at our present.
That's right. Well, and that's it. I mean, we stagnated, right? I mean, this library is stagnant. I think this happened to a lot of libraries. People are in positions where they're happy with the way things are and not happy with the way things are. I think it's about re-energizing those kinds of things. I think that that's huge. I think that we have to recharge the perception of what the library is, not what it is now, but what it can be, and making those changes and doing those kinds of things. And again, to me, being enthusiastic about something is infectious. If you can make other people enthusiastic about these changes and wanting to have input and undergoing those changes together and learning together, getting the community involved, then I think that you can move forward with those things faster. So that's what hopefully I see over time with us for our library and the implications for it.
All right, question number 4, the most dangerous question anyone could ever ask Brad McMaster. Brad, got anything on your mind?
I don't want, the longer this video is, the longer it takes to load to YouTube. So no, I don't know. I just think that the hardest thing that we have to do, and the hardest thing, especially again, I think for Mark and I, is that we are outside of the library. We're not actually teacher librarians this year. So everything that we have to do is on top of that and do it. It's hard to make changes from the outside, but again, I think it's hard to make changes from the inside too. So I go back to the cheese maze, I guess, is what that whole video of the cheese maze. You know, you're not going to be able to find the cheese, you know, right away. And not everybody wants to find the cheese. They had all those little different characters. And you know what? Maybe the cheese is Swiss cheese. Maybe it's holy. Maybe the cheese is aged too long by the time you find it. Maybe you got people that are lactose intolerant. They can't even have the cheese. So, I mean, those are things to think about. I mean, there's always those kinds of wrenches to throw into your cheese. But that's that. That's what's on my mind, Mark, right now. Okay, I think we're on the last one.
Yeah, good thing we just had lunch.
Yeah, it is good. I didn't have any cheese. Oh, I had cheese bagel.
All right, what do you think your first steps are going to be in the library?
First steps in the library. I think the first thing that Mark and I need to do, and we haven't talked about this, but I'm sure he will concur with me, because he always does, is that...
Not all the time.
We need to sit down with our principal and show him the Prezi that we made. I think that the one thing that I like about this course more than the other two that I took is that we were able to create something tangible that we can show. The rest of the stuff is just spouting this and that off, but this is, we were actually able to create something now with our guidance and our vision, kind of like an annual learning plan, but again for the library, not so much for our classroom, that we can now take back to our principal and say, hey, watch this. This is what we really want to do. What are your thoughts about this? How are we going to move forward with this? Is there ways that we can make this happen and do those kinds of things? And then we can start the wheels and process of changing. And that's, to me, that's what I think the first thing is that we need to go down. We need to take to the staff. I mean, there's a whole bunch of steps. But that first step, again, just like Liz Kerr said, you have to get the people of influence on board with you, and I think that's a big one. And I think that the Prezi that we made, as well as a lot of the stuff that we did and learned in this class, is gonna go a big way for that. So that's that. I've answered everything. I kept it a lot less time than Mark thought I would. I babbled a little bit less probably, but you know, who knows.
I had 3 extra spare sets of batteries on hand.
Yeah, you should have, because you never know how long. But anyway, it was a pleasure meeting all of you online, and that's all I need to say about that. I'm going to go back to reading Mark's dissertation on the quaternary history of a rock cut, and you can go back to doing your thing. Thanks for watching.